done your cockpit drill to make sure the car is ready for you. You've now done your prepare, so foot down on the brake, shift into drive, handbrake off. You've observed all the way around the car, left blind spot, left mirror, centre mirror, out front while you're there, right mirror, right blind spot. Work your way back round. You've identified that it's all safe to go. So, off we go. You're then going to want to stop. To do this, we check our centre mirror and side mirror, pop your signal up, and start steering very gently towards the curb. We then want to steer away from the curb until our car is aimed directly up the road. We can then check our positioning and refine our park if need be. I'll be going into this a bit later in the video. Overall, sounds quite simple, and for experienced drivers, it looks very simple. But for learner drivers, there's a lot to process and a lot to do here. So let's have a go at breaking it down. One thing that can catch new drivers out is that the car will start moving as you start to release pressure on the brake. To get the car to move forwards, you don't actually have to use the accelerator. And to start with, I won't encourage you to. As we then get further through the session and you feel a bit more comfortable and confident, you can have a bit of an experiment with the accelerator. As the car starts moving, it's important that we just need small movements, no big points of steering. We'll come to that when we start looking at bends and junctions. A common mistake that I do see is oversteering and trying to get towards the curb too quickly. It's about keeping the movements small, the speed slow, and giving yourself time to react. For a first attempt, moving off and pulling back over, a lot of learners will find that they're way away from the curb when they stop. And that's absolutely fine. You'll still be getting used to the perspective from inside the car and knowing where about everything is. We're not expecting you to be masters of that within the first session. It takes time. And you're always better off ending up too far away, because that's fixable, you can undo that, than aiming too close and hitting the curb. You can always fix positioning, but you can't undo contact. Now, a really common mistake that gets made when trying to park back up again is focusing too early on the side mirror. Where we should actually be focusing is out front, so out the front windscreen. Once the car is positioned roughly where we want it and aiming roughly in the direction that we want it, that's when we can start looking at the wing mirror and refining the positioning. So first thing we're going to look at once the car is pointing directly up the road is, are we a decent distance from the curb? Once we're happy with the distance, we're then looking at what happens between the curb and the car. We're wanting the curb to run parallel with the side of the car. If the curb starts to disappear behind the car, then the car itself is pointing out into the road. To correct this, just keep it nice and slow and steer towards the curb. If the curb looks like it's moving away from the car, that means that we're still pointing towards the curb. To correct this, start moving off just a little bit and steer away from the curb. When you're first getting used to these positionings and parking up, it's absolutely fine to move a bit, stop, check, analyse it. Do I need more? Move, stop, check. As you get more comfortable with doing this, you may be able to check your refined positioning while still moving, but that's not necessary at this point. Take your time, make sure you know what you're seeing, and give yourself time to react. Although we are looking for the curb to run parallel with the car, we're not after perfect. If you're looking in the mirror and the car isn't blatantly pointing out into the road, or it's not blatantly pointing at the curb, that's probably fine. When choosing for somewhere to park, what you're looking for is a scalp. That's a safe, convenient, and legal place. So you're looking for making sure that you're not blocking someone's driveway. If a car is parked on the other side of the road, for example, you don't want to create an unnecessary bottleneck. If there is a junction, you don't want to be within 10 metres of it. Make sure you've checked the surroundings and make sure you've checked where you're aiming to park before you start. You don't want to begin, then realise there actually isn't anywhere safe to park, and then have to try and move back out again. This could get complicated quite quickly if, for example, there are cars coming from behind you. So remember, scalp. Safe, convenient, and legal place. While parking up and moving off can feel a lot at times, the more you do it, the better you'll get at these small routines that you basically put together. It will feel a lot more comfortable the more you do it. Always remember as well, we're not aiming for perfection, especially not at this point. It's about keeping it slow, controlled, and just working on your perception, working on your confidence. As that builds, you'll be able to do it that little bit quicker and that little bit more efficiently. But that's not the aim now. We'll get there. Hope this has helped, and I'll see you in the next one.